Welcome back to Coremates. Tonight, we're diving into something almost everyone experiences but rarely talks about: the subtle, sneaky ways social media can make us feel smaller than we are. The scroll, the like, the feed, it's not just content. It's a mirror. And sometimes, it's a warped mirror.
Yeah,
That moment when you see someone's perfectly curated life, the coffee, the sunset, the highlight reel, and suddenly you feel not enough. Not quite as creative, as happy, as on top of it as them. And you think, why doesn't my life look like that? And here's the thing, it's not your fault. Our brains are wired for comparison. Evolutionarily, it helped us survive. Today, it just helps algorithms make us scroll longer and our self-esteem shrink faster. Okay, can we talk about the emotional roller coaster that is Instagram? Because this morning I opened my feed for 5 seconds and somehow went from "Good morning world" to "Wow, apparently everyone is in Bali except me." 5 seconds. Girl, mine took 2. I clicked one story and suddenly I was questioning every life decision I've ever made. And the worst part? I knew it wasn't real. My brain knew it. My feelings? Zero respect for logic. Exactly. And here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just insecurity. This is neuroscience. When you scroll, your brain goes into social ranking mode. It's ancient, primitive. Like your brain is saying, where do I stand in the tribe? Am I safe? Am I relevant? Yes. And the crazy part? The brain doesn't care that the tribe is now 4,000 influencers, models, wellness girlies, and one random guy from high school who became a crypto guru. Your brain treats them all as competition. It's like we're in a digital Hunger Games and didn't get the memo. The invisible tournament. And then there's dopamine, the little gremlin in your brain that loves chaos. Every like? Dopamine. Every notification? Dopamine. Every cute travel clip with the girl in flowy linen pants twirling in slow motion? Mega dopamine. And dopamine doesn't care about your self-esteem. It's like, rewards now, emotional meltdown later. Which is why you can scroll for 30 minutes, feel weirdly empty but still go, one more video. Just one. But here's the part nobody talks about. Your brain is filling in missing information. It sees the highlight and automatically assumes the rest of the person's life looks the same, perfect, soft-lit, aesthetically arranged. Exactly. Your brain creates a whole movie from one screenshot. Meanwhile, the person who posted that perfect shot might be crying in the bathroom 10 minutes later. It's not the post that hurts us, it's the story we project onto the post. And that's why people feel drained after scrolling. It's not the content. It's your brain constantly reevaluating your worth without your permission. It's psychological microstress, tiny spikes of "I'm behind, I'm less, I'm missing something."
exactly.
And people keep calling it comparison culture like it's a trend. It's not a trend. It's biological wiring, exploited by modern design. Apps are literally engineered to keep us comparing. Because comparing keeps you watching. Watching keeps you scrolling. Scrolling keeps the platform winning. Not you. So if you've ever wondered why you open your phone feeling fine and close it feeling like the dullest character in your own life, congratulations. Your brain is working exactly as designed. Just for the wrong team. You know what still shocks me? We know social media is a highlight reel. Intellectually, logically, scientifically, yet emotionally, the brain treats it like a scoreboard. Like, oh, she's in Bali again? Maybe I'm behind. Behind what? Behind who? Nobody even knows. There's a study, I'll find it for the show notes, where they scan people's brains while scrolling. You know what lit up? The same regions activated in competitive environments. Your brain thinks TikTok is the Olympics. Imagine training for the emotional Olympics without even realizing. No wonder we're tired. And here's the part no one talks about. Comparison doesn't come from insecurity alone. It comes from over-identification. We fuse someone else's moment with our entire self-worth.
Like,
She's succeeding, therefore I'm failing. But these two things aren't connected at all. It's just the brain misfiring. Yes, it's like your mind doesn't update the software. It still thinks life is a small village with 30 people and one bakery, and you're fighting for the same bread. But online, you're exposed to millions of lives at once. Your brain isn't designed for that level of comparison. It's overstimulation wearing lipstick. And the algorithm pushes the best moments, which, scientifically speaking, creates what psychologists call availability bias. Meaning, the more you see something, the more you believe it's normal. So you see 6 people getting married, your brain goes, "Oh, apparently everyone is getting married except me." When in real life, 2 people you actually talked to got engaged.
2.
And one of them isn't even sure she wants to be. Okay, but this is what I want everyone listening to hear. The moment you stop comparing yourself to other people's final edits, you get access to your own real life again. You actually start feeling present, grateful, grounded, human. And honestly, the quality of your life changes so fast. Not because the world changes, but because your reference point changes. You shift from, am I doing enough compared to them? To, am I doing better compared to the me from 6 months ago? That's the real flex. Okay, so let's go a little deeper into the psychology because the brain isn't doing this comparison thing to hurt you. It actually thinks it's protecting you. Yeah, it's trying to warn you. Like, hey, look at that person doing better. Should we panic? Should we run? Should we do something? Should we cry? It's ancient wiring stuck in modern times.
Exactly.
Back in early human history, comparison was survival strategy. If someone in your tribe could hunt better or gather better, you had to adjust. Comparison helped you not fall behind. Literally. It kept you alive. But now, your brain sees a girl on Instagram who wakes up at 5 a.m., meditates, runs a company, journals, and makes a smoothie that looks like it was styled by a Michelin chef. And it treats her like the new tribe leader you must keep up with or die. The brain's like, she made a green smoothie. We're in danger. And this is where FOMO comes in. It's not about missing out. It's about wanting to belong. FOMO is basically, I don't want to be the one left out of the tribe. Even though our tribe today is, what? A screen with 800 strangers? And jealousy. This is interesting. Jealousy is actually a data point, not a moral failure. It shows you where your desires are. It shows you what part of your identity feels underdeveloped or neglected. Exactly. I used to hate feeling jealous. I thought it made me bad. But once I learned the neuroscience behind it, it got way less dramatic. I started treating it like an emotional notification. Oh, okay, my brain is telling me something I care about is being activated. And then I ask, what's the real need underneath this? Yes, because jealousy isn't, I'm a failure. It's usually, I want that level of peace. I want that kind of love. I want that stability. I want that freedom, that discipline, that lifestyle. The emotion is painful, but the message is honest. And when you listen to it without judging yourself, something shifts. You stop spiraling and start clarifying. You stop attacking yourself and start understanding yourself. And you stop competing with strangers and start competing with your potential, which is the healthiest comparison there is. Let's get into the part everyone hates admitting. There are moments when we're extra fragile, prime time for the comparison spiral. Yes, the brain doesn't compare all the time. It compares when it senses a threat gap. A moment where something in your life feels unsteady or undefined. Like the scrolling in bed while your life feels confusing moment. Top-tier comparison hours. Elite. Peak danger zone. Your prefrontal cortex, the part that handles logic, is basically offline at night. You're tired. Your emotional brain is louder. Your critical thinking is sleepy. And suddenly everyone online seems ahead of you. Then there's the classic one. When you're bored. People underestimate this. Boredom lowers dopamine. Low dopamine makes your brain seek stimulation. Scrolling gives a hit. But the hit comes packaged with other people's achievements, which your brain reads as, look at your empty life. Even though 5 minutes ago, you were just fine eating your pasta. Exactly. The pasta was enough. Then you open TikTok and suddenly it wasn't. Another big trigger, transitions. Any moment where you feel in between career changes, breakups, healing phases, starting something new. Transitions make your identity feel temporarily undefined, so the brain tries to borrow identity from others. Who should I be like?
Who's doing it right?
And that's where comparison sneaks in. And you know which one hits deep? When you see someone achieving something you low-key wanted for yourself.
Yes.
That's the one that stings quietly, but stays long. Because it's not just comparison, it's grief. You're grieving the version of you that didn't get that yet, or the version you're afraid you'll never be. And that's why people feel shame around comparison. Because it exposes desires we haven't claimed yet. It exposes what matters. And that can feel vulnerable. But when you know your triggers, you stop spiraling automatically. You can catch yourself in the moment. You can say, "Oh, this isn't truth. This is just my tired brain doing tired brain things." And that alone can save a whole night of emotional chaos. Okay, this is the part people underestimate. Comparison doesn't always show up dramatically. Most of the time, it's quiet, invisible, almost polite. It doesn't scream, "I'm ruining your self-esteem." It just rearranges things in the background. Yes, it's like emotional malware, running silently, draining your battery. No error message, just a slow, steady decline in how you feel about yourself. For example, you start delaying things that matter to you, projects, applications, posts, ideas, because suddenly your work doesn't feel good enough. Not because it's bad, but because you saw someone else doing it perfectly. That's called imposter drift. Not full imposter syndrome, just a mild, subtle slide into self-doubt. Because the internet keeps showing you people who look like they're thriving. Or the classic one. You stop celebrating your own progress. You finally achieve something you've been working toward, and instead of feeling proud, your brain goes, "Well, someone online did it 2 years earlier." As if life is a competition and you arrived late to class. My brain used to say, "Congrats, but she has a better apartment." Like, why is that even related?
Exactly.
Comparison scrambles context. It mixes unrelated things until everything becomes a self-judgment. It also makes you numb to your own life. You scroll so much you forget what you actually enjoy. You lose your internal GPS. Your desires start sounding like other people's desires. Yes, desire confusion, where you don't know if you want something or if you've just seen it too many times. Like, do I genuinely want that kind of relationship? Or did I just watch 7 couples' morning routines today? Or do I want to move to Bali? Or am I just tired and overstimulated? Comparison also plays with your nervous system. You're constantly evaluating yourself, so your brain stays in a low-level state of threat. You don't notice it, but your body does. More tension, more checking, more pressure. It's like your mind is silently keeping score all day. And the saddest part? It can make you blind to the beauty of your own timeline. You stop seeing the life you're building because you're busy staring at someone else's progress. Not because you're weak, but because your brain isn't built for a world where you're exposed to hundreds of perfect moments every day. It's too much data, too many signals, too many imaginary timelines to compare yourself to. And that's why this conversation matters. Not to blame social media, but to understand our own minds, so we can use these platforms without losing ourselves inside them. All right, let's get into the part that actually helps you feel different. Breaking the comparison loop isn't about deleting all your apps or pretending you don't care. It's about interrupting the brain's automatic pattern. Yes, because it is automatic. Comparison happens before you're even aware of it. So, we don't fight it with willpower. We fight it with awareness plus micro-adjustments. The first shift? Name the comparison moment out loud. Literally say, "Oh, my brain is comparing." It sounds silly, but labeling the emotion instantly moves the experience from the emotional brain to the logical brain. It's neuroscience. The minute you name it, the emotional intensity drops by half.
Exactly.
And then I like to ask myself one simple question. What am I needing in this moment? Not what does she have that I don't, but what is my heart craving that I've been ignoring? And listen. Usually the answer is something embarrassingly human. Rest, validation, connection, stability, structure. not a yacht. Never a yacht. Not one person is truly jealous of a yacht. They're jealous of the freedom they project onto it. Exactly. So once you know the real need underneath the comparison, you can actually meet it instead of punishing yourself. Another practical shift I love: compare yourself to your previous you, not to strangers on the internet. Ask, have I healed anything? Am I more intentional? Do I disappoint myself less often? That's the real scoreboard. Your only competition is the version of you that was tired, confused, reactive, and didn't know what you know today. Also, and this one is subtle, curate your feed with the same intention you curate your home. You wouldn't leave 60 people in your living room yelling about their achievements, so why let it happen in your brain? Yes, please delete anyone who makes you feel like your life is a loading screen, and replace them with people who inspire you without pressuring you. People whose content feels like expansion, not competition. Another trick that saved my sanity: take structured breaks, not dramatic breaks. Instead of deleting apps in a panic, set micro boundaries. No scrolling in bed. No scrolling when you're sad. No scrolling after 10 p.m. Treat your brain with the same compassion you'd offer a child. It gets overstimulated fast. And finally, come back to your own life. Touch something real. Water your plant. Write one sentence in your journal. Go outside. Take a shower. Anything that reminds your brain, hey, this is my timeline.
This is my body.
This is my moment. And it's enough. That, more than anything, is how comparison loses its power. By choosing your own life again and again. You know what's wild? When you stop comparing yourself constantly, your whole inner world changes. Not dramatically at first, it's not fireworks, but slowly, quietly. Things open. Yes, it's like your mind gets space it didn't even realize was being occupied. Because comparison takes up so much room. Room you could use for ideas, creativity, clarity, actual joy. One of the first things that returns is self-respect. You start seeing your own choices, your own rhythms, your own pace, and instead of thinking I'm behind, you think, this is who I am, and I'm actually doing well. And with that, something else shifts. You become more present. Because you're not mentally living in other people's timelines. You're finally here. In your own life. In your own season. And presence, it's magnetic. People feel it on you. They do. And your relationships change too, not because other people change, but because you're no longer entering conversations from a place of insecurity or performance. Yes, you stop trying to match people and start meeting them. You become a better listener, a more grounded friend. You're less reactive, less threatened, less secretly anxious during social interactions. And here's a beautiful one. You become genuinely happy for people. Not performative happy, real, stomach-warm happy. Because their wins stop feeling like your losses. It feels like freedom. Like your emotional bandwidth finally belongs to you. Not to strangers. Not to highlight reels. Not to algorithms. And something even more surprising happens. Your ideas come back. Your creativity wakes up. Your natural rhythm reappears because you're no longer judging your life through someone else's aesthetic. You start trying things you've wanted for years, not because someone else did them, but because you finally hear your own voice again. And that's the real gift of stepping out of the comparison trap. You return to your own timeline, your own axis, your own truth. You stop chasing everyone else's path and start building the one that feels like home. And honestly, that's where life actually begins to feel like yours. If you're still here with us, thank you for giving your mind this space. Because comparison is something we've all wrestled with, quietly, privately, and it takes courage to look at it gently instead of judging yourself for it. And maybe tonight or tomorrow morning, you'll notice one tiny moment where the spiral tries to start again. And instead of falling into it, you'll pause. You'll breathe. You'll remember. Oh, that's just my brain trying to protect me. I don't have to follow it. And that pause, that tiny bit of awareness, is the beginning of getting your power back. It's how you soften the pressure, how you return to your own timing, how you make room for a life that feels like yours. Because you're not behind. You're not late. You're not missing anything. You're simply on a path that nobody else is living. And that makes it incomparable by nature. So, if this conversation felt like a small exhale or a reminder you didn't know you needed, let it stay with you. Let it sit in your chest for a bit. And maybe let it guide how you move through the rest of your day. We're proud of you for being here, for choosing reflection over autopilot, for choosing yourself, even for half an hour. And, as always, come back tomorrow. We'll be here, same space, same softness, ready to keep walking with you.